This fight, gentlemen, is really going to have some emotions tied to it.
What
These
is
two
humps?
guys.
Is humps? He got humps on his guy.
I don't know what humps is, but
I don't know humps either.
I don't know who
but
that
I
is.
have an idea.
It looks like a place that you would go in the 80s after one of your fights, Mike.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. I wasn't going to say anything, but I have to agree on that one.
I think Humps has a champagne room.
Yes,
no
sir.
doubt about it. Hump.
So, guys, this fight is really, there's
Yeah,
a
set
lot of
us up.
emotions tied to this one. These gentlemen fought in Cage Wars Kickboxing, the Battle on Broadway. Jeff Gregory won a questionable fight there because there was some inadvertent groin shots and different things, and Paul Lafond really wants to get that fight back.
Okay.
You got to meet Bobby Stewart. He's right behind us.
And although he's got the Hump shirt on, he's actually from Team Jucal. Paul Lafond, former Cage Wars light heavyweight champion. Big Nels Larson coach. Rich Perillo, Rich Cloudhammer, one of our crowd and fan favorites here in his corner tonight.
I think Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has changed the combat world.
It absolutely has.
That's my belief.
Oh, it absolutely has. I remember when Royce Gracie made it famous. I mean, back then, you used to have to get the special little chip you put in your box just so you could get it.
You would think that the Gracies would own all of this stuff. They'd be involved with the leading all this stuff, but that never happened.
Well, they actually walked away from the UFC. Some things happened in the initial early days, and they decided to pull their guys from the UFC because they didn't like some of the results and some things that were going on. So that was kind of what pulled them away, and then the sport just kind of started to flourish. You know, Renzo Gracie stayed involved, but Royce kind of stepped back.
Yeah, Gracie started MMA because they were doing different styles, and they realized his style was the best in winning, right?
Well, it was a challenge style, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
But now everybody knows that style now.
Everybody.
Not like it was before
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Yeah.
When Tank Abbott was fighting. and stuff.
I've heard of him before. Was he
Well,
good?
he was very exciting.
Well,
Not a great fighter, but great entertainer.
Yeah, okay.
Now
okay.
we say jiu-jitsu has changed it, but there's always a curve and always a circle. They were just talking about the Sean O'Malley fight coming up at UFC 306. They're talking about strikers like O'Malley have now elevated themselves to almost negate ground guys like Murad Divashali.
Hey, I believe most of the strikers now are very experienced with the ground game now.
Yeah.
Which they weren't at first.
They are, but not as much as Murad. Murad is a high-level grappler, and they are all predicting O'Malley to win because of his expertise in striking and just ability to keep it on the feet, not even necessarily his grappling prowess.
That fight's tomorrow, correct?
Tomorrow night,
Tomorrow, yeah.
Plus, O'Malley's just such a freak of nature. We
Yeah.
talk about
He's a good
body
fighter.
types and styles. He's a giant.
Yeah.
But we have to look at this. Fighting has nothing to do with your physical aspects. It's all
100%.
spiritual. Fighting is spiritual.
But wouldn't you make an argument, though, that in a fight where there really is a tremendous size differential, that it does give an advantage to the longer guy if he's a good striker?
No.
If they know how to use it, right?
No.
No?
Depends on the desire of the individual, the willpower, the
And you can
desire.
speak, and you could speak to that because you even said you like being a shorter fighter. Did you like being a shorter fighter going up against longer guys?
I've never fought no one shorter than me.
You had no choice, right? It was either.
I still remember
fight or
that
flight.
Mitch Green fight when you with the head movement, changing the level, smiling at him, grilling him, and it was amazing.
Yeah, that was personal.
But I'm just
hated
saying,
him.
being the shorter guy,
Yeah.
you use that to your advantage with that head movement.
You have to make your disadvantage your advantage in life, not just in fighting, but in life.
Yeah.
Amir, this is going to be a strange question, and I'm sorry. I'll preface it by saying that.
Okay.
Do you go back? Do you go back and watch Dad's fights on YouTube?
When I was younger, I did.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I watched them because I was a fan of boxing, so I just wanted to watch all the greats and stuff. So yeah.
Were you even impressed? Were you even impressed?
Clearly.
I mean, it's unbelievable. It really
Clearly.
is.
Jeff Gregory makes his way into the cage out of Garage MMA. Again, this is going to be an emotional fight between these two guys. No love lost.
You like that, right, Mike?
Yeah.
You like that?
They have a rivalry.
They do.
They don't like. I could tell how he's looking at him. He's like, I don't
that
like
make
him.
great fights, and this is all about being entertained.
And Will, if you had to tell us about the fighting style,
gonna
The
bring it up
action
to like
continues on the card for Cage Wars 67 with our upcoming contest scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. It is in our middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in last night at 186 pounds. Representing Team Jucal out of Scotia, New York, Paul Lafond. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in last night at 185 pounds even. representing Garage Mixed Martial Arts out of Albany, New York, Jeff Gregory.
Looks like two animals getting ready to collide.
You could just tell by both their eyes. Are just like, I hate that. Like you could just tell.
This is not going to go the full.
That
3
make
rounds.
great fights.
Yeah.
Guys that hate each other make great fights.
Dad, who was the last fighter that you had like actual beef with, like Razor Ruddock or who?
Probably Razor.
Razor
yeah.
Ruddock.
Oh,
yeah.
he was a dirty fighter too, wasn't he?
He
Him
was.
and Botha? Was it Francis
Botha's
Botha,
crazy.
right?
They're all
Oh, God.
crazy.
All right, let's let Iron Mike take the first 30
Yes,
seconds of this.
yes.
For sure.
Oh, they're getting ready to explode. The guy from Albany got his head too high in the air, I think.
I was talking to Paul Lafond's coach prior to this fight, and he said their game plan was going to be to put Jeff against the cage and try to wear him down and slow the pace down because Jeff is such a high-energy, high-pace fighter.
I know, but Jeff, he's getting ready to explode. It's going to be difficult. He has to take him down. He can't leave him just push him up against and leave him like standing up. You got to bring him down.
He should try to trip with that leg.
Yeah.
Go for a body lock, suck it in, pull him in. He's got to do something here, Mike. You're right.
This seems tactical just to try to wear his opponent down.
Oh, that looked like a potential low blow. Got to be careful there.
Yeah, he low blowed him, but he didn't complain. I could tell by his reaction. It was a low blow. He just took it.
Some fighters are so focused they don't even feel it.
Right.
He's got to be careful trying to suck both those legs. Gregory doing a good job defending.
I noticed he's striking the leg with his left hand.
Hammer fist to the thigh, yep. A little bit old school.
It doesn't hurt as much as a kick, I tell you that.
See, the guy's smaller, but he's using his strength and leverage to dominate him. So, like, it's never really about height. Like my dad was saying, it's about, like, spirit and everything.
Sure.
Right now, if I'm Paul Lafond, he's... This seems like a bad replay, guys.
Well, Will, take us back. What was their previous fight like?
It was a kickboxing fight, Battle on Broadway, and there was a couple of low blows that people said contributed to the loss for Lafond and the win for Gregory, and both these guys want to get that back. Yeah. Gregory also fought Rich Perillo, who is in Lafond's corner tonight, and there were some low blows going that way too as well. So, it's something that we've seen in this trifecta of fights with these three. So it's going to be interesting to see where we go from here.
Yeah.
Keith Peterson letting him know where the belt line is to use better accuracy and take
You can see how big and thick his cup is. He's not going to get hit with low blows. He got a big, thick old cup, right? It's his big cup.
And the thing about Paul Lafond, he's a real tough guy, former champion, and it's all about his mental state. So for me is, where is he mentally right now?
He's going right for it.
Oh,
his hands go.
Watch that he go.
Ooh.
Right now, Gregory's
Going
got
for
the
it.
advantage.
Going
Pushing the
for
pace.
Oh.
Got him on the cage, though. That was ferocious, though, right at him.
It was. Right now,
ferocious.
Jeff Gregory, although he's been against the cage, he's been the aggressor.
This crowd is ready to explode.
Final minute. Jeff Gregory doing a good job getting Paul Lafond's back to the cage. Paul looking for a low blow. Keith Peterson did not agree. Paul Lafond holding on, trying to get his bearings here in the moment.
He got to slam him in the middle of the floor. Just grab him, pull him, and put him on the middle on the mat. He's in the corner too. He's giving him opportunity. They hurt him back.
Jeff Gregory is a big, strong man.
And you called the champ. Lafond says, come on, let's fight in the center of the cage. Yeah.
Oh, man.
They're talking crap.
No love lost, gentlemen.
This is an entertaining fight. 20 seconds left to go in a very competitive first round.
Gregory's real hesitant, so he should just let his hands go.
And Lafond has a chance to steal this round.
Oh.
And I don't think he was able to do it.
I like these guys.
Wow, that got the crowd going.
Yeah. Who do you guys think won that round? Was it close? Close round. Too close to call?
I would think Gregory because of some control time, I would say.
Here's the thing. It's effective striking, effective grappling, and control.
Yeah.
And, although Lafond had him against the cage, the control, the aggression and the damage was by Gregory.
Yeah.
And narrow margins, too. This is still anybody's fight at this point.
Yeah.
And Lafond may have been trying to conserve a little bit of energy because right now it appears like Gregory looks a little bit gassed.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, when you come out that hard and that much energy, it's going to drain you a little bit. But these guys are in
100%.
such good shape. I mean, I anticipate him getting some of that wind back. But, yeah, he looks a little bit worse for the wear in terms of, fatigue right now.
And he's bigger, so like the more muscle you have, the quicker you get fatigued.
More oxygen you use.
Exactly.
Big Nels Larson giving Lafond some coaching. Rich Perlow there. Voice of reason behind him.
This is a great fight.
It is. I told you there was no love lost here, champ.
Great buzz here inside Rivers Casino and Resort in Schenectady.
That was a close round, but
It was.
I think he won that round.
You give it to Lafond?
Lafond, because the cage control and stuff like that. Just,
Interesting. Okay, so we got.
but the other guy was good too. I don't know. It was tough.
I'd like to see them both put some punches with those kicks, though.
Oh, God.
I don't think either one of them have thrown a jab yet.
This is a hatred fight. They're fighting to hurt each other. Oh,
There we go.
that
Nice
hurt.
leg kick by
Oh,
Paul.
God,
kick.
stop.
Be careful, though. Gregory's loaded up
Stop.
that right hand.
That hurt
Powerful.
me. I felt that. Stop. Oh.
Now that's got to be a point. That's got to be at least a point. That was egregious. I mean, that was obvious.
My
And that-
left testicle hurts right now.
Oh, that's not good. That's the worst type of pain you can have right there. Some of the worst.
But don't you have a cup under you?
They should.
If you have a cup, how can it hurt?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, because
Only if he hit you underneath.
but you got the partners down there below the banana, and sometimes the cup squeezes and hits.
And I think you'll see that, champ. You're right. I think it was
Goes under.
underneath.
If it goes under, then it
under the
hurts.
barrier.
Oh.
Field goal.
that seemed blatant. It was so obvious. Like,
Well, it was a lead leg straight kick, so it was a bad angle. You'll see him coming up, and it's not a round kick. It ends up coming up straight.
oh my God. Wow.
What are your thoughts, champ?
Hey, I think that hurt very much.
Yeah, I think so. Look at this man. He's still hurt. He needs that time.
Well, that's a couple of nut shots.
But it's interesting, though, because people sometimes do question that. And as somebody that's never done this, you think with a cup that would offer some sort of protection.
Exactly, but this is what we have to look at, too. In professional sports, we also have professional actors. They make it worse than it really is.
Like
for
when they flop in soccer
yeah.
or something like that. Yeah.
I will say, though, I don't think that's the case here because these two guys want to go at each other. I think that Lafond is truly compromised here. And if that's the case...
Oh, God.
That was crazy.
I mean...
Is the doctor going to come in and pinch and tickle? See if it's all right. He just called the doctor in. Is he going to turn and cough?
It depends on the way he tickles and pinch at.
That's what I'm saying.
It depends on the way he tickles and pinch.
I hope it's not a
that's funny.
prostate exam.
Well,
Champ, have you ever been hit with a low blow that made you actually want to stop fighting?
no.
But again, boxing, you're only using your hands, so the likelihood of that happening is much less as when you're
Yeah.
throwing the kicks or the knees.
I've seen some fights, though, with you, and I keep bringing it back to Francis Botha. He was just relentless.
He's tough. He's tough.
with the low blows.
He got knocked out. Both it did.
So I don't know if Lafond can continue here. I sure hope that he can.
I mean, with this much animosity and this much history between the
know.
camps, it would be such a
That'd
shame
be a
if you
shame.
can't.
Well, he gets, what, 5 minutes?
Yes.
I don't know that anybody's really been keeping track of time, perhaps. But would that be... I mean, would they go to the judges' scorecard after one?
I believe
or
it would
no?
be a no contest.
No contest?
No
Okay.
contest, yeah.
Okay.
No, he can fight. He's ready to fight.
Oh.
Lafond's
He's ready.
going with him. Here we
He's
go.
He's ready to fight.
Yeah.
You guys hear what he said? I was trying to listen to what he was saying, but I couldn't hear.
Oh,
Wow,
no,
come on.
I don't understand.
What?
I don't understand the decision here. He wants to fight.
I don't know.
Unless it's just
Pete
a DQ.
Peterson just called it off, I think.
Oh, the crowd. We got to get ready. They might be throwing stuff after this.
Did he call? Did he
Yeah,
just
he
DQ him?
He called the fight. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened.
But if the fighter can continue, then
Yeah,
why wouldn't they still be fighting?
No,
This is-
they should keep on fighting.
This is a very entertaining fight.
Yeah,
Why
they
did
should
it stop?
keep on fighting,
This
for
is
real.
this is a crime.
The only reason why you would stop it is if he couldn't continue or if it's just a DQ.
and he's still jawing with him. So if
Nah,
you can
let
draw,
this
you
fight
can
go, man. Come on, this is activity.
Why would he give him 5 minutes to
Let
get
him
better
fight.
and then
let
he's?
him fight.
I'm not sure I understand this. Will, do you?
No, I'm not really sure what's going on at all.
Let him fight. Don't stop this fight, man.
It looks like Ed Kinner.
Mike Favo's in the cage. So that's not a good sign.
I just don't understand why give him
He's
time.
good. He's perfectly
Right,
fine.
that's
What is going on?
That's what I mean, Amir. Why give him time to collect himself, and then when he's okay and he starts talking shit to his opponent, why are we calling the fight?
I don't like that at all, man.
Unless perhaps he wasn't well enough to continue, and he told that to the referee, and that's why he came over and jawed at him, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm very
It's
confused
possible.
about that because he seems like he could fight. What do you think,
And
Dad?
I think they're going to have fighting in the parking lot.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they might.
No,
They might have you judge it.
No, if not for money. I don't want them fighting. Don't fight for free.
Oh, wow, this is interesting. That's a shame.
I'm still kind of annoyed that they stopped the fight. It was getting better and better.
Yeah, hopefully maybe Ed Kinner can come over and provide some clarity for that for us in a little while.
And like you said, too, with a fight where there was actual build-up and animosity, it's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Unless he just wasn't well enough to continue, and he verbalized that.
Obviously, Keith Peterson heard something that indicated to him that, Lafond was no longer able to
Are they
continue.
reconsidering this?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
You think they're reconsidering it?
Come on,
No.
fight some more. No, I see. When you see that, it's over. When you see those people with the girls between the guys.
All right.
Bringing it
the
up
guy-
to Mike Favo.
When you
you're
see
right.
that, when you see the
Ladies
gentlemen
and
between
a
the
round
girls,
of
it's
applause
over.
for two great fighters. Referee Keith Peterson has called a stop to this fight for your winner. By way of disqualification, out of the blue corner, Paul Lafond.
Well, all right, so that changes things.
Yeah,
I
for
didn't
sure.
realize they were
I didn't realize I would have went as a DQ. Okay.
And, I mean, could you make the argument that Lafond may have just taken the
It
win?
may have been strategic.
Taken the win?
Who knows? I thought they could continue. I did that. Didn't you think they were going to continue?
There was nothing wrong with that gentleman.
I don't know. He seemed perfectly fine.
Look at him. He's great.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let me
Something
ask.
tells me this ain't over with those two.
Not at all.
But let me ask you this, champ: if you're in the cage and you have an opportunity to accept a win in a DQ situation, would you opt for that, or would you want to keep fighting?
Hey, I look at it like this. If I'm
Right?
getting
Like
my-
that's a
if I-
business
No.
tool.
If I'm getting my ass kicked, yes.
Gotcha.
But if I'm healthy, I can fight. No. We want to fight to the end.
I think Lafond may have made a business decision there.
Yeah, it was a bit anticlimactic.
Yeah, I agree.
Now listen, if this was a boxing match, it would be crazy in here.
Yes.
If that happened in a boxing event, it would be mad.
Chairs to be thrown.
Yeah, it'd be some animals in here.
Like remember the Galata Bo fight, the second one, all his guys from New York that started fighting. him in the ring.
What I'm saying, I don't want the fight world to get mad at me. The UFC, wow, how am I gonna say it? I'm not gonna. I say the UFC has more coof than boxing. More coof. I like to say that. The audience has more coof than boxing.
I gotcha. Well, you know what? I think part of that too is because, Mike, when you fought, it was such an event. There was so much hype leading up to it, and it was like you were the main attraction. Whether it was you or another title fight, people wait for hours and hours for the main event to come, and they become somewhat disenchanted. In the world of MMA, maybe it's a little bit of a longer show. They feel like maybe they get more bang for their buck, if that's
You
fair.
know what's so interesting when you say that? You look at the boxers and the fighters, boxers, and you look at the UFC. Totally two different people. They're two different animals. Their personality, the way they grew up. You know what I mean? The UFC got most of these guys been to school to have other jobs that boxers have won. Most of us don't know how to read and write, and it's just we have problems. We're challenged. You know, totally different crowd base, totally different everything.
Yes, I understand what you're saying too.
You
And
do?
the fans, you talked about the
I'm
fans reacting.
I'm not talking bad about anybody.
No,
by saying
I
that.
don't.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think backgrounds and culturally, they're very, very different. There are certain similarities, but definitely
Well,
some
I mean,
big
and Mike
differences.
can speak for this. Boxing was a way out for so many kids.
If you listen, when I was younger, when I was a kid, you only became a boxer because you couldn't do nothing else. Right now, kids can do it. They could be on TikTok and everything, like Jake Paul.
YouTube.
YouTube,
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah.
But when I was a fighter, you only became a fighter because you couldn't do anything else.
That was it.
That was it, yeah.
That was your way out. That was your way
Yes.
out and up.
Exactly.